Hello musicians, Mr. Merkel here, and I'm going to be going through page 17 in the Essential Elements Book 1 with you today. I'm going to try to go through it in a non-instrument specific way to really help any of you that are working on your parts to understand the rhythm and the pitch, and then to demonstrate it on my best instrument, which is the trumpet. For the percussionists, this will work for you playing your bell part, but as far as your snare parts or any other percussion that's listed in your book, I'll have to do a separate video to help you out with that. So let's start with number 78 on page 17, Up on a Housetop. First, let's count through it, and if you have your instrument, go ahead and do the fingerings as well. There's a lot of things to look at in this piece. We have dynamics to look for, mezzo forte, which is medium loud, and forte, which is strong or loud. We have a first and second ending. So the roadmap, we're going to play through the first four measures, and then we get to that fourth measure, you see a bracket with a 1, so that measure is the first ending. And then we have a repeat sign, repeat back to the beginning. Second time, play the first three measures, skip over the first ending, play the second ending, and keep on going. Also, once we get past the second ending, we have some notes with a symbol that looks a lot like a greater than sign. In music, we call that an accent, and we need to emphasize the beginning of the note. So as I count through this, I'm going to try to emulate those different dynamics and articulations, as well as say the correct rhythmic syllables. All right, so here's the tempo. 1, 2, count and finger, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Let's sing through it now. We're going to start on the syllable so. So, so, la, so, mi, do, mi, so. La, 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 so, mi, re, so, so. So, so, la, so, mi, do, mi, so. La, 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 so, mi, re, so, do. Fa, fa, la. So, 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 mi. Re, re, fa. Mi, so, so, do, mi. So, so, la, so, mi, fa, so, la. So, so, la, so, mi, re, so, do. All right. Now let's go ahead and play through it. If you have your instrument, play through it with me. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. That's exercise 78. Now we're going to move on to the duet, exercise 79, Jolly Old Saint Nick. And so with this exercise, I'll play through the A part once and then the B part. And so you could play this along with the track like a duet. If you have a good speaker or earphones, you could listen to this while you play the other part along with me, okay? So let's start again just by looking at the rhythm to number 79. The rhythm to both parts is almost identical, only a slight variation towards the end. So let's count through the A part first. Here we go. 1, 2, count, go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 1 tay, 2, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1 tay, 2, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1 tay, 2, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1 tay, 2, 1 tay, 2 tay, 1. And hopefully you caught that this piece also had a first and second ending. So again, you follow the same rules. The measures underneath the bracket with the 1 is called the first ending. The measures with the bracket 2 is the second ending. So when you take that repeat, and the second time you go through the piece, you're going to skip over the measures that are the first ending and go straight to the second ending. All right, and the only different rhythm that happens in the B part besides the A part is in the second ending. Instead of going 1 tay, 2 tay, 1, the B part goes 1 tay, 2, 1. All right, so now let's get to the different pitch that's required. The melody, if you were to sing this song, Jolly old St. Nicholas, right? The melody is in the A part. So that's the tune we would go away singing or whistling if we were singing this song. So let's sing through the A part to Jolly Old Saint Nick. Here we go. La 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 la, so so so, fa 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 la, re 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 re, do do fa, mi fa sol la sol, la 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 la, so so so, fa 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 la, re 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 re, do do fa, so fa so la fa. And that's the melody part. Let's go ahead and play through that melody part together. Here we go. 2, ready, go. So that's the melody part to exercise 79. Feel free to play the B part along with me while you listen to that part being played. But let's talk more about how you can know the B part. Now, for many of the instruments, the B part might be considered easier because it's lower. But at the same time, it can be more of a challenge, especially for the brass instruments, because the harmony part, that B part, is what I call the butter part. It is a part that makes the melody sound good, but by itself it's a little bit strange. Just like butter makes a lot of baked things taste better, but you wouldn't grab a stick of butter out of the fridge and just eat it. That would be gross, right? But if it's in a cake or a cookie, the butter makes everything happier. So this B part makes the melody more appealing, makes it better. So here's the problem with brass instruments. We only use 7 different combinations of fingers to play our notes on a trumpet, or 7 slide positions to play the notes on the trombone. So we could be playing the right fingerings or slide position, but if we're thinking the melody in our head, we might end up buzzing a little bit too high and getting really close to the melody note. But since we're doing the fingering for the B part, that note we're probably going to play is going to be really dissonant against the melody note instead of harmonious. So we really need to be able to hear this harmony part in our mind before we try to play it, especially on the brass instruments. So singing is going to be crucial. So while the melody starts on la. The harmony starts on fa. Okay? And if instead I use the same finger and went too high, it would really clash with that. So make sure we start on this note. Sing the B part with me. Fa, 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 mi, mi, mi. Re, 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 do. Te, 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 la, la, la. Do, re, mi, fa, mi. Fa, 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 mi, mi, mi. Re, 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 do. Te, 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 la, la, la. Mi, re, do, la. So again, it kind of sounds strange by itself, but when you put that together with the melody, they sound better together than they do on their own, for sure. All right, so let's play through that part now. Before I play through it on my trumpet, I do want to note a few interesting things about this. For the trombone, when it gets to measure 5 and 6, it has the trombone go up to some higher notes instead of down to a lower note. For whatever reason, this method book doesn't teach those low notes out. I've heard my students hit those low notes. I don't think it's all that difficult. Maybe on tuba, it's really hard to get your lips loose enough to hit the low notes, but on trombone, most students can do it anyway. So trombone players, if you want to try to play the contour you hear me play on trumpet, it's actually going to be the same slide positions as the higher one, but here's how it's written for your part. You've got so it's kind of a little bit odd that it jumps up there in the 5th measure instead of continues its descent. And also it pops up to that higher note at the end as well. So here's how it is for most of the instruments. So now let's move on to exercise number 80, which is the big air stream. And exercise number 80, most of our instruments learn a new high note, right? The only instrument that doesn't is the clarinet. And the reason is that they save that note on the clarinet till later. And I did another video specifically for clarinets to help them learn how to physically start to play up to those notes. We also worked on that a little bit in class, but my video hopefully will give you some more exercises to get even more comfortable with those higher notes. But there's a reason, a good reason why they didn't do a higher note for the clarinet at this point. Much better reason than why they didn't do the lower note for the trombone on the previous exercise. So the big air stream for most of our instruments has the highest note we've played so far. Let's take a look at this and count through the rhythm first. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3. 1, 3. 1, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. So, like I said, the clarinet kind of has to stay on the low notes, and because of that, it's going to kind of jump down whenever the other instruments would probably head up instead. It jumps down on the second note. that jump down to the lower note there. It jumps down in the second note, and then it jumps back up again in measure 3 and 4. And then again in measure 5, we hear it jump down on the second note of measure 5, and then jumps back up on the last two notes. Most of the instruments don't have that contour. So again, I'm going to go with the contour that most of the instruments have, but at least you heard me play it on clarinet, so you know how it goes. But I'm going to sing it with the contour of all the other instruments. Okay? Fa, la, te, do, te, sol, mi, fa. Fa, la, te, do, la, te, do, te, sol, fa. Okay? So now I'm going to play it with that contour that we have for most of the instruments. Next is the waltz theme from the Merry Widow Waltz, number 81. And so as we take a look at this one, we are back in 3/4 again. So we really have to feel that 1, 2, 3. I'm conducting with my left hand right now, so if you want to mirror me with your right hand, because most conductors conduct with their right hand, that's how we're trained. So if you want to mirror me right now to feel the 1, 2, 3, maybe even try moving your hand while you count through this, okay? So let's really get the rhythm, but let's also pay attention to the dynamics, the mezzo fortes and fortes, and the crescendos and diminuendos that go between those dynamic levels as well. We want to make some gradual increases and decreases in volume throughout this piece. Here we go. Count with me. 1, ready, go. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that is the waltz theme's rhythm. Now let's worry about the pitch. Once again, we're going to hear some interesting things from the clarinets. So clarinets don't, if what I sing is a little bit different than your part, don't be too worried about that. There's some spots in measures 9 through the end where you jump down to some lower notes, even though everybody else is playing higher notes. So at the second half, you guys jump down to some lower notes like this, starting at measure 9. Everybody else is a little bit higher there, but you guys in the clarinets jump down to those low notes. All right? So let's take a look at the contour that most of the instruments have, and let's sing through it. We have do, fa, sol, la, do, fa, sol, la, te, la, sol. Do, sol, la, te, do, sol, la, te, do, te, la. All right, and then playing that on the trumpet. 1, ready. theme, the Merry Widow Waltz. We have three more pieces on page 17, but one of them is a pass-off, so you can look at the pass-off video to see information about that one, okay? Let's take a look at exercise number 82 on page 17, airtime. When we get to this exercise, the clarinets only have a new note, and this new note is going to be covering all of the holes plus playing this pinky key. This is the bottom key on the top stack of keys. See, this is the lower stack, this is the upper stack, and this is the bottom key on that top stack of keys. Alright? So that's how we're going to play the low F. So that note's going to sound like this. And now that the clarinet is learning some of those lower notes on their instruments, that's almost the lowest note on the clarinet, they're going to actually be playing these next two exercises starting on that low note instead of starting where they might have normally started. You can hear how the notes sound very similar. They're both Fs. We just have a low F and a higher F. So normally the clarinet would play along with the trumpet players starting on that higher F. But at this point we're going to practice our low notes on clarinet, and we're going to start on that low F, and instead we're going to be in the range of the trombones. So it's the same contour as all the other melodic instruments. It's just going to sound a little bit lower than we're used to with the clarinets. And we get to practice those long fingering. Make sure that you're covering all those holes completely. Maybe practice in a mirror or practice with a video to really see, to make sure you're keeping your fingers flat enough to cover them completely. One of the things we talk about with our clarinet players is if you hold it right and you squeeze more than you should, this is just sort of to do as a check. If you squeeze and then you hold your fingers up, you should see right in the fleshy part of your fingers that you have clarineticulitis. Right? It's a disease that shows you that you are holding the clarinet correctly because you can see where my finger was sealing that hole. And that's exactly what you need if you're going to play those notes well. All right, let's go on to just explaining the exercise to everybody. So here's the rhythm for airtime. Let's count and finger through it on whatever instrument you have. Here we go. Ready, and 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So now let's go ahead and sing it. It's going to start on, actually starts on La. Here we go. Ready? La, la, sol, fa. La, do, do, te, la, fa. Sol, la, te, do, sol, fa. And then here's how it sounds when we play it on one of our instruments. And now on to number 83, Down by the Station. Once again, we are going to have our clarinet players starting on those lower notes and playing down to that low F in this piece. So they're going to be playing along with the trombones, whereas usually they're playing along with the trumpets. But the melodic line remains the same for everyone who's playing. So let's go ahead and count through so we get the rhythm of Down by the Station. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, tay, 1, 2. 1, tay, 2, tay, 1, 2. 1, 2, tay, 1, 2. 1, tay, 2, tay, 1. And you can take the repeat if you like. For right now, I'm just going to go through it once. Let's sing through that a little bit slower when we sing. Fa, fa, sol, la, la, so, fa, sol, la, fa, do. Fa, fa, sol, la, la, so, fa, sol, la, fa. It actually is a very, very similar melody to the Alouette melody that we learned earlier, that French folk song. But anyway, down by the station. Down by the station early in the morning, right? And I think there's another children's song that uses the same melody. Maybe you've heard it before. I'm not going to say what it is, but maybe some of you know the words to that children's song. But anyway, let's go ahead and play through it together. Here we go. 1, 2, ready? All right. So there actually is one difference. You notice how I went up for that last note in measure 4. For some of the instruments it goes up, like the trumpet and the clarinet both go up, but the flute and alto saxophone and trombone go down, which is actually how I sang it. So you heard me sing it the way that those instruments, and then you heard me play it the way that the trumpet and the clarinet jump up on that last note. I hope these have been helpful to you to understand how the songs go, how the rhythm, how they sound before you play them. And I hope that you get really good at playing these exercises, and more importantly, that you understand the concepts that these exercises are trying to teach you and to reinforce in your playing. Do lots of correct repetitions to develop consistency in your playing, so that when it comes time to perform, you can count on it being a great performance every time. Have a great time practicing and playing your instrument. Let me know if I can be of any help. All right, have a good one.